I found the best cheesesteak in Philly's Reading Terminal Market, and that's starting right now. Right in the center of Reading Terminal Market is Spataro's Cheesesteaks. They've been in business since 1947, so with a history like that, I had to try it, especially since it looked like a solid operation. The problem was, I was pretty full. As we were leaving Philly, we just had a pretty substantial brunch, so we really didn't need any kind of lunch before hitting the road for a 4-hour drive. But we did know at some point we were gonna get hungry that night, so we made a quick stop at Reading Terminal Market specifically for cheesesteaks. But we did find some other goodies. The plan was to stop by Tony Luke's, but those guys are closed on Sunday, and that makes the second time I've tried to try Tony Luke's. And that's okay because Spataro's was open and they were mobbed. I'd say there were about a dozen customers ahead of me, enough to require a bouncer to manage the line. It took about 10 minutes to get from checkout to them handing me my steak. The way it works there is you pay up front and then you come around the line, and then when you get around the line, you get your cheesesteak at the very end. The price per cheesesteak here is pushing $15, and that's a little bit on the high side compared to the others that I've tried. While I was waiting in line at Spataro's, I got to see some pretty interesting stuff behind the scenes. The most interesting detail to me was the bread. I got a peek at a stack of boxes that they were pulling the rolls from, and it came from a place called America's Bakery. Based on what I could find online, America's Bakery is a wholesale baker out of New Jersey. That to me is really funny and interesting because the purists out there will tell you that cheesesteak needs to be on an Amoroso roll, and that's undoubtedly a Philadelphia company. But one thing I can tell you is there's plenty of bakeries in New York and New Jersey that make strong sub rolls. And if I had never seen these boxes from America's Bakery, I would have thought that it's the same bread as the other places in Philly that I've tried for cheesesteaks. The assembly line they had going was impressive. It looks like they had 3 to 4 people handling the meat down the line. And as the steak cooked in stages, the second to last guy called out to the last guy to build the individual sandwiches with onions, mushrooms, cheese, based on whatever the order was. I went for mine provolone wit, which basically has them mix sauteed onions into the steak and add deli sliced provolone to the bread. And because we had a long ride, I had them double wrap it for me. It was kind of excruciating to live in the car with that delicious smell of cheesesteak, but they did survive the ride. After we unpacked and settled in, I unwrapped them and I threw them in a hot oven for about 12 minutes uncovered. That's to get everything nice and warm again. It turns out this method pretty closely approximates getting one fresh, with the exception that you actually pick up a tiny bit of crisp on the roll, which is something that's really not common to the Philly cheesesteaks. They're usually made on soft rolls and then wrapped. This was slightly a different kind of treat, but still a Philly cheesesteak. Well, let's see how it tastes. Biting into this was absolutely incredible. It had been a little more than 24 hours since our last cheesesteak at John's Roast Pork, but it really was a surreal experience to have something so authentic in my own dining room. I've had steak sandwiches in my area before, but nothing that could even be considered in the same league as this. One thing that's kind of signature to this cheesesteak is that when you get it with onions, those are left cut kind of big, so it gives you something to chew through as you bite through the cheesesteak. And from watching them make it, it seems there's a little bit of flavorful liquid that comes with the onions, and that helps to make the mixture on the sub even more rich and flavorful. And I think the big thing that I learned on this trip is that when I want provolone on a cheesesteak, deli provolone is better than sharp provolone. Sharp is really good on roast pork, but it totally overpowers on a cheesesteak. So would I say Spataro's cheesesteak is better than all the cheesesteaks I've tried before, those being Pat's, Geno's, Cleaver's, and John's Roast Pork? Better? I don't know. Different than? Absolutely. So far, I can't say any of these places are doing it the same, and that's a good thing. I will say, if you're in Reading Terminal Market and you really want a cheesesteak, this is an amazing option. But there are some other things you need to try in Reading Market while you're there too. Termini Brothers has amazing pastries and the best cannoli I've ever had. Mueller Chocolate Company has some fun chocolate, including a chocolate covered onion, which I didn't try, but Andrew Zimmern even says is disgusting. But I did pick up a neat looking chocolate tower, which I tried for YouTube Shorts, and Old City Coffee makes amazing espresso beverages and actually has 2 locations inside of the market. All of these are can't miss. We're working hard to catch up to Emerald in subscribers here on YouTube. Help out and subscribe, and you can keep up with all the new videos. And don't forget, hit a like on this one if you enjoyed it. Click into my cheesesteak or Philly playlist to check out even more of our Philadelphia adventures right here.